Good day to everyone. Welcome again to our Media and Information Literacy class. So, for today's video, we are going to discuss the module number 6. So, module number 6 is all about the media and information languages. Let us define the code. So, are you all familiar with the game called charades? So, the secret of winning a charades game is by being familiar with common hints that may be recognizable to the player doing the guessing. So, sa paglalaro natin kasi ng charades, diba, may isang player na bubunot. So, dun sa nabunot niya, kung ano yung nakalagay doon, yun din ang gagawin niya. So, yung mga kakampi niya, kailangan maging familiar sila sa bawat symbols na ginagawa nung kakampi nila for them to understand the message na nais iparating ni player. Pagdating din naman kay media, 'di ba? Kinakailangan natin ng codes to understand those messages or information. So codes are known as a system or collection of signs that create meaning when put together. So we have different signs na kailangan nating pagsama-samahin para makapag-provide tayo ng information or message with the other people. Next, meaning is agreed upon by communicators because the rules in understanding the codes are shared by members of a community that use that particular code. So there are some places wherein they are using such codes, 'di ba, para magkaintindihan sila. So example na lang natin is kung familiar kayo sa Boy Scout or Girl Scouts, 'di ba? They are using different codes or signals para makipag-communicate with the other people. Example na lang natin is yung smoke signals, Morse codes, or the signal flag. So, they are using that one para ma-relay yung information sa mga kalaro nila. Another one is yung anong tawag dito? Sign language na kung saan, 'di ba, before mo ma-interpret yung message, kailangan pag-aralan mo munang mabuti kung ano yung ibig sabihin noon. Another example, yung mga driver, dapat familiar sila sa mga signal, 'di ba, sa mga symbols para pag nakita nila is alam nila yung gagawin nila. So how about the genre? So when we say genre, it is a French word which means type or kind. Another definition, it has been a major component. So ito, pagdating kay genre, pag sinabi nating genre, it is the classification, category ng isang pinapanood or pinapakinggan or binabasa natin. So dito, pagsasama-samahin yung bawat classification ng literature, ng theater, ng film, television, and other art and media forms. So, kapag nanonood tayo ng movie, 'di ba? Kadalasang hinahanap natin is kung ano nga ba yung genre nito, kung comedy ba siya, kung horror, kung love story. So, marami tayong mahanap na genre or classification ng bawat pieces. 'Di ba? Maski din sa mga music, kung mapapansin nyo, may genre ng rock, meron yung pop, meron yung jazz, meron yung classic. So, we have different types ng pieces. Genre, define the terms of genre as the following according to Becia, 1993. First one is the recognizable communicative event. What is communicative event? It refers to the nature of your media exposure. So, dito na papasok kung anong klaseng media yung ginamit mo, kung ano yung ginawa mo doon, such as the reading a book or newspaper, watching a film or television show, or surfing the internet. Our second one is characterized by a set of communicative purposes. So when we say communicative purpose, it is the intention of the media messages that you're exposed utilizing the principles of news writing to do so. If film entertains, to it utilize aspects of filmmaking, also known as mise en scene, to get you engaged the narrative. So dito, kay communicative purposes, pinapakita kasi kung ano nga ba yung message na nais mong iparating kay audiences mo. Kung ano nga ba yung purpose mo, bakit yan yung pinapakita mo or bakit yan yung information na pinaparating mo sa kanila. So, pag sinabi nating mise en scene, it is the stage design and arrangement of actors in scenes. Diba? Kung kamusta nga ba yung visual theme nila, yung storyboarding, yung cinematography, at yung narrative storytelling through direction. So, lahat ng yan ay nakapaloob kay mise en scene. Is identified and mutually understood by the members of the professional or academic community. So when we say identify and mutually understand the messages, it means that it does not matter who the audience is as long as he or she can understand the messages. So dito, hindi naman sila naka-focus kung yung audience ba na yun is may pinag-aralan or wala, as long as itong si audience na to, kung ano yung naintindihan niya, ganun din yung maiintindihan ng ibang tao. Let's proceed to role of genre in understanding media messages. So first one, genre helps audiences, readers, and viewers to understand the text merely looking at those signs that you can recognize and interpret. So si genre kasi napaka-importante yan. Bakit? Kasi kailangan before ka gumawa ng isang piece mo, kagaya na lang ng mga movie, ng music, kailangan muna nating pag-isipang mabuti kung ano yung magiging genre natin. Kasi kung gagawa lang tayo ng isang story, example na lang, wherein hindi natin alam kung ano yung genre, magiging or mahihirapan tayong gumawa ng story. So next one, diba? Si audiences, readers, and viewers can understand the text merely looking at those signs. Example na lang, kapag nanonood tayo ng movie at may nakita tayong mga kutsilyo, knife, and then any other tools wherein makakapagbigay ng sakit sa ibang tao, then syempre, magkakaroon tayo ng idea kung anong genre nga ba yung pinapanood natin, kung saan siya umiikot. So next, those who construct the message should conform to certain standard practices within the boundaries of a particular genre. According to Bisha 1993. So meaning, kapag gagawa tayo ng information ng message sa pamamagitan ng different pieces, kagaya na lang ng movie, ng music, make sure na magiging or i-check natin yung content natin. Kung ito ba ay tama, appropriate ba yan sa mata or pandinig ng ating viewer. So next, the codes in the genre guide the audience toward a particular understanding of the message. So, kagaya nga ng nasabi ko kanina, if you're watching a movie and then yon may nakita ka na any other tools dyan sa pinapanood mo, syempre magkakaroon ka ng idea kung ano nga ba or saan umiikot yung story. Example na lang, 'di ba? Kapag yung pinapanood natin may namatay, so syempre magiging under siya ni drama. Hart 1986 points out that genre analysis is pattern seeking rather than pattern imposing, according to Bisha 1993. So genre already has embedded patterns of codes or signs that you will have to merely identify, rather than having to force your own particular pattern just for you to be able to understand the message of genre. So ibig lang sabihin dito ni Bisha 1993, which is yung kay Hart 1986, dito, yung mga different codes for you to easily understand the message ay naka-implant na, nakalagay na doon. Nang sa ganun, madali na lang para sa yung intindihin yung information. Hindi yung tipong gagawa ka ng different code para i-guess lang or alamin lang yung information or kung ano nga ba yung message na nais iparating. Is one's role in the society. So, a student may interpret the message differently compared to someone who is working adult. Bakit? Kasi nga, si student, konti pa lang yung knowledge niya, hindi pa ganun ka-establish. Unlike ni working adult, wherein marami na siyang na-experience bukod doon sa mga lesson na pinag-aralan niya nung estudyante pa siya. So, dito kay working adult, mas matured siya umintindi ng message, hindi kagaya ni student. So, second one is group purposes. Group purposes, it means that reasons for consuming the messages affect your understanding of it. So, for example na lang, yung teacher nyo, sinabihan kayo na kailangan panoorin nyo tong video na to. And then, syempre, kung tinatamad kayong manood ng video at napilitan lang kayo kasi nga sinabi lang sa inyo, syempre, hindi nyo makakapture yung mismong message. Pero, if you have the eagerness, kayo mismo nag-initiate na matuto pa, diba? Na mas malawak pa yung information na makuha nyo at yung messages na tinatawag, for sure, 'di ba, maiintindihan nyo yang mabuti. As the professional and organizational preferences and prerequisites. So, biases toward the message may also affect your interpretation of it. Kailangan, anumang message that we may receive from those media na ginagamit natin, maging open-minded tayo. Nang sa ganon, hindi maapektuhan yung interpretation natin or yung pagkakaintindi natin sa message na nais nilang iparating sa atin. So, number 4, cultural constraints. The culture you belong to may have a different way of looking at things compared to other cultures. So, there are some country wherein yung tinatawag nating liberated. So, sa kanila, sa place nila, pwedeng-pwede silang magpalabas or gumawa ng movie na yung censored. Hindi kagaya dito sa ating bansa na kinakailangan, 'di ba, maganda yung mga ipapalabas natin maski yung music. Here are the few tips when you analyze genre that you may be unfamiliar with, according to Beja 1993. So first one, place the given genre text in a situational context. So what does it mean? Some of the things that can help you understand the messages you encounter in context would be your own prior experience. Kung ano nga ba yung mismong naranasan mo before. Kasi nga, 'di ba, marami tayong napapanood, nababasa at naririnig na kung saan nakaka-relate tayo. And next one is knowledge about the message and the clues that are embedded in the message. So, may mga hidden secret or hidden information or messages na nais iparating sa atin ngayon. For us to understand it, hindi natin kinakailangang gamitin yung literal understanding. Kailangan unawain natin kung ano nga ba yung nais niyang iparating by simply opening our understanding. Ibase rin natin siya sa mga naranasan natin before. And then, syempre, pag-aralan nating mabuti yung bawat naririnig natin, binabasa at pinapanood. Second is survey existing literature. Consult related or similar genres that provide the same type of message or the tools, such as film reviews, newspaper editorials, commentaries, guidebooks, or manuals to help you construct an interpretation of the text. So for this one, we can use different type of sources for us to understand the messages na naririnig, napapanood at binabasa natin. So next, read synopsis or reviews of the film para mas lalo pang madagdagan yung information na nasa atin, and then ma-interpret natin, malaman natin kung ano yung message niya na nais ibigay sa atin or yung information. Define the situational or contextual analysis of the text. You will have to be more critical in analyzing the messages in the media text by considering all the factors that have influenced the creation of those messages. So, pagdating sa interpretation or evaluation of the messages, kailangan maging maingat tayo. Word by word, sentence by sentence, i-check natin para mas madali na lang sa ating intindihin yung message, kung ano nga ba yung mga factor na ginamit to produce those messages. Next, number 4, select corpus or body of works that characterize the genre. Define the genre and the subgenre that you are trying to analyze. So, if you are watching a movie, kailangan malaman mo kung ano nga ba yung genre and yung subgenre niya. So, pag sinabi nating subgenre, it is lesser or subordinate genre. Examples are the psychological thriller, contemporary romance, cyberpunk sci-fi, and urban fantasy. So, bakit nga ba natin kailangang alamin yung genre and the subgenre? So, for us, na mas madali nating ma-analyze or ma-distinguish kung may kapareho ba tong story na to, itong music na to, or wala, kung meron bang another type of movie or books or yung mga music na pinapakinggan natin na medyo kapareho niya. Number 5, study the institutional context. So be aware of the institution or organization from which the message originated, because they may have influenced how the message was constructed. So, kailangan pag-aaralan natin, alamin natin kung sino yung gumawa ng information na yan, kung ano yung purpose nila, bakit yan yung nais nilang iparating, or bakit yan yung nais nilang sabihin sa iba't ibang tao. Codes in media messages. So first, Maxwell 2005 argued social and cultural values and beliefs are reflected in media content or yung tinatawag nating media message. Kasi there are some movies, there are some information na napapanood natin, naririnig at nababasa wherein doon pinapahayag kung kamusta yung social and cultural values and belief ng isang country, maging yung principle, yung standard na or tradition na meron sila. So next, in order to effectively understand how media content or messages produce desired effects by both authors and audience, there should first be a familiarity with genre codes and conventions. So dapat dito si authors at si message nagkakaroon na sila ng communication. Ibig sabihin, kung ano yung nais iparating ni author sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng codes and convention, dapat familiar si audience. So, are you all familiar with the movie entitled A Quiet Place? So, doon sa movie na yon, they are not allowed to speak, di ba? They are not allowed na mag-ingay. So, mostly na ginagamit nila doon ay codes, diba? So, dun pa lang sa codes na ginagamit nila, nagkakaroon na sila ng pagkakaunawaan. Bakit? Kasi nga, diba, alam nila or familiar sila doon sa codes and conventions na ginagamit. So, let us proceed to codes. So, codes consist of signs that have meaning, and the meanings are dictated by agreed rules of interpretation. So, yung bawat tao dito, before nila gamitin yung codes na yan, syempre, in-instruct muna nila kung ano yung ibig sabihin nun, so that they can understand each other, kung ano yung message or information na gusto nilang sabihin. So, next one, the message is still open to miscommunication and misinterpretation. interpretation, lalo na kung we have differences when it comes to culture, personal biases, and level of knowledge. So, hindi pa rin talaga natin maiiwasan na hindi tayo magkaintindihan. So, let us discuss the technical codes. So, equipment is used to tell the story in a media text, which consequently affects how you can interpret the meaning of that text. So, dito pa lang, 'di ba, pinapakita na napakalaki yung impact ni technical codes upang mapaganda yung interpretation ng message sa bawat isa sa atin. Signs that are produced when camera techniques, framing, depth of fields, lighting, and exposure and juxtaposition are utilized. So these are the examples of technical codes. So next, the type of film shot or the manner of capturing a scene or even the way the scenes are spliced and put together through editing suggests a particular meaning. Example na lang natin, dito sa Philippines, 'di ba? Kung yung story is tumutukoy siya way back or flashback, they are using black and white na background, 'di ba? Maski yung mga nakakalungkot na pangyayari, they are also using black and white background. So another one is yung kapag ang isang character ay nag-iisip, may ipapakita sila na thought bubbles. Nang sa ganun, malaman natin kung nasa ang kwento or nasa ang information na ba tayo. So next is visual or the symbolic codes. So codes that embedded in the technical code such as objects, settings, body, language, clothing, and color. So behind the scene, ito yung mga nakikita natin, which is, 'di ba, nakakatulong din for us to determine kung ano yung information or message na nais niya iparating. So, it also include those costumes, yung lighting, yung soundtrack, and especially, yun nga, yung body language ng mga actors. So, next, this code suggests or connote rather than explicitly state the meaning of a media message. So, more on codes yung nakikita natin dito, kagaya na lang ng mga hand gesture sa pananamit nila, 'di ba? Or halimbawa na lang, nandoon sila sa yung settings ng palabas nila is nasa palasyo. So, meaning magkakaroon na rin tayo ng idea na yung bida na yun ay mayaman. So, next one, symbolic codes are very effective in suggesting meaning because they utilize our sense of imagination and rely on our familiarity with cultural signs and symbols. Kaya nga symbolic codes kasi we are using signs para maintindihan natin yung information. So we must be familiar when it comes to signs and symbols. So next one is the written codes. So the use of language, style, and textual layout also express meaning. So examples are captions, titles, slogans, taglines, and some other language elements are also utilized in a way that may suggest a particular meaning. Examples na lang, when we are watching a drama from another country, 'di ba? Mas prefer natin na lagyan ng caption. Mas prefer natin na lagyan ng different subtitle nang sa ganon, malaman natin at maintindihan natin kung ano nga ba yung ibig sabihin nung pinapanood natin. So, malaki ding ang nagiging impact ni written codes sa bawat isa sa atin. So, pagdating dito kay written codes, do not forget na kasama si language, style, and textual layout. So, dito na rin papasok kung kamusta ba yung paglalagay nila ng message, kung maliit ba. So, dito rin papasok, example na lang yung mga nakikita natin na titles sa mga balita. Diba? Meron sa bandang baba, nandoon yung balita, yung mga information. So, under din siya ni written codes. So now let us proceed to the relationship of codes and textual features of audio-visual messages. Codes are signs, and for you to interpret what they mean, you have to be familiar with how these signs operate. So kanina, we discussed about the three types of signs. Ano yon ulit? Technical codes, visual or symbolic codes, and written codes. So for us to easily understand the message, kailangan maging familiar tayo kung ano nga ba yung sign or codes na ginamit doon. Example na lang, 'di ba? Kapag dun sa pinapanood natin, nakakita tayo ng mga grupo na kung saan nakasuot sila ng itim at puti, syempre, since we are all familiar that ganyan yung culture natin, 'di ba? Then syempre, magkakaroon na tayo ng idea na yung pinapanood natin ay may namatay. Ibig sabihin, sila ay nagluluksa. So let us talk about the convention. So when we say convention, it refers to the generally accepted way of doing things that has formed into a habit because of repeated exposure and experiences of these messages. So for example na lang, 'di ba? Kapag si audience, when he or she is assessing media content or messages, nagiging hindrance na si convention. Bakit? Kasi nga yung tao minsan dahil sa overfamiliarity sa mga paulit-ulit niyang napapanood or na-encounter na message, 'di ba? Hindi niya na nabibigyan ng importance yung message na nais iparating. So for example na lang, 'di ba? If you are watching a Korean drama or especially na lang dito sa Pilipinas, yung mga teleserye natin, even though hindi natin napanood yung eksena or yung story sa gabing to, still makakasunod pa rin tayo sa kwento. Bakit? Kasi, 'di ba? Halos kapareho niya lang yung ibang mga teleserye na napanood natin before. So last is tropes. So what is trope? These are storytelling devices and they are also conventions seen in television genre. So pag sinabi nating storytelling devices, this is also known as narrative framing devices. So these are the method which a story is narrated. So dito kasama si person who is narrating the story and how they are narrating it. So, example na lang din ng tropes natin or storytelling devices are the chronological narrative, reverse chronological narrative, real-time narrative, epistolic or diary, documentary, or yung story within a story which is also known as framing story. So, next, in film language, these are called motifs or recurrent themes. Pag sinabi natin recurrent themes, ito na yung mga paulit-ulit na nakikita natin or nai-encounter natin sa message. Sa message or information. So next one is tropes provide a texture to a story. So through the use of tropes, 'di ba? Pinapaganda niya yung appearance or yung flow ng story natin. We are already done in our module number 6 and thank you again for listening sa ating discussion ng module number 6 and God bless everyone.